Okay, I'd love to have the opportunity someday to contribute to civic politics. So here's what I'd do if I were mayor. Okay, so there's many things which are fundamentally amok in our city. We need to revisit some basic foundations before we get into any projects. A lot of individual and community growth opportunities and exercises need to be put into motion. Thought I had less time. Just reflect on that. So, value cultivation, community interests first. A strong set of values comes from an immense investment in community and education, as well as community consultations. The ability to forge new values comes with dialogue and collective collaboration over time. Ooh, we missed a slide. I believe language is power and shapes everything. We are able to attract the reality of vision, language, and feelings we express consistently with rhetoric. Investments in learning and teaching opportunities will be our greatest asset, serving as a catalyst for future values and decision-making. An education experience that puts creativity and nurturing of individual assets and passions will be the only model for our forever and rapidly changing world. We must not try to be like another city, but take our homegrown visions and put them into action. Compromises in vision lead to investments in things which don't really attract us. Examples? How about Centennial Hall? Planning. I believe that planning is an ongoing fluid process. Urban sprawl goes against all good global planning practices. Besides that, it's bankrupting our city. We cannot continue to take development at any cost. Micro-communities. I believe the future of a large urban center will be the creation and investment in its micro-communities. We have a few in London already, but most people in London don't know their neighbors and have really low walk scores. Each micro-community needs to be walkable, including access to food, libraries, hardware stores, post offices, and so on. Environment. For city of opportunity, do these brands work? Let's brand ourselves by actions into being amongst the most progressive cities in the world when it comes to the environment. We need strategies for air quality, water quality, use of toxic chemicals, and the nurturing of all things green. Social issues. We can't dabble in social issues. We can't assume that social agencies, the city, and the police are going to solve them. An integrated community-led approach is needed. Every neighborhood needs to take some responsibility for the people at risk. We can't ghettoize any part of the city and have a feeling of us and them. Entrepreneurs. Gone are the days of the big corporate savior. The entrepreneur and small business are the future of business retention and strong, diversified local economy. We must learn to be aware, listen, and find ways to support these individuals and businesses. Transportation. Not buses, trains. Every progressive city in the world has them, and find ways to integrate them into the existing infrastructure. We don't think big enough. We always compromise. Help our community define culture in meaningful ways. Help everyone experience culture, not just a select few. Start young. If a child picks up a violin now, they'll support an orchestra later. How can we build more esteem for our city? If culture is defined as unique features and accomplishments of our city, then a careful inventory needs to be made. This inventory should then be marketed with both within and without our city. Seniors, we already are a destination point for retiring seniors. What can we do to support and nurture this community? If London is a destination point for a growing part of the population in Canada, let's make the most of it. We need to invest and remain in control of our energy. We need to find local green sources of energy and grow them. Let's make each home have some independent source of these energy resources. Employment. Politicians can't promise jobs. They do, but they can't. But they can promise to keep job creation as a constant focus. They can also create conditions and solicit opportunities. Imagine a community where everyone has enough to have a decent quality of life. Studies have shown that a minimum income would likely cost us less than the emergency visits, shelters, social services, and other things we pay for when people get into stresses. It would narrow the gap. We don't just need change in London, we need a comprehensive overhaul, a revolution. Thank you.